I'm curious, what do you do when you have a really, really, really bad day? What do you do? How do you get over it? I had a mentor, a friend, in one of my first parishes. She was in her late 80s, and one day she says to me, you know, Margot, if you're having a bad day, and if you're feeling kind of blue, you probably need one of two things. You either need to take a nap, or you need to go for a walk. Her name was Adeline. Adeline is with me very, very often. And I have found that Adeline knows what she was talking about. There's nothing like a walk, in my experience, to change my perspective. That sounds like a little bit of a trivial story, doesn't it, compared to the words that I just read, the words from Jesus, who is really having a bad day. But a bad day, much more seriously than my bad day. I was at the drugstore the other day, and part of me, as I'm thinking about this text all week long, and I see people lined up, and the person in front of me is getting her prescription of Prozac. And I thought, good old Peter, feels like he had a little pill bottle in his hand. And he said, Jesus, don't be so gloomy. You just need some Prozac. Do you know that on the shelf at Walgreens, you can buy an antidepressant over the counter that is called Happy Camper? It kind of feels like Peter saying, Jesus, stop being so negative, for goodness sakes. It's not going to be that bad, Jesus. And then we hear those hard words of Jesus. Peter, get behind me. Because I don't want you to tell me things that aren't true. Because where we're going to Jerusalem, it is going to be that far. So part of what I thought when Jesus is having these huge challenges to carrying out his ministry, part of what I thought is, where does Jesus go? He goes to his friends. He goes to his friends, the people who know him the best, the people who know his ministry. And he dares to tell them the truth. It takes a really good friend to hear us at our gut level lowest. It's pretty easy when we're in a crowd, when we're with people we don't know so well, and people say, how's it going? We say, it's okay, it's fine, good, good, good. But we go to our friends when we dare to speak the truth. And so Jesus goes to his disciples, and he says, just so you know, I need your support like crazy, because I can't do this by myself. And it's not going to be very pretty there. How in the world do you read those words? Whoever is not willing to lose their life, and then to put the book down and say, this is the good news of Jesus Christ. Pastors, more than anyone else, need help. When we come to those places of Jesus that are really, really hard sayings. So scholars know we need lots of help, so they write books entitled The Hard Sayings of Jesus. And they want us to know we're not standing up here by ourselves. They want us to know that there are ways to think about the insights inside of this text. Especially with the baptism today, I really seriously thought, I'm going to find a happier text. Because it's not very much fun to read these words. One, we've got the smiles on our faces with a baby in front of us for baptism. Oh my goodness. the gift of a new life. But it's exactly Bryson's baptism that brings me to the good news in this text. Because what I experienced as I was preparing my head and my heart and my mind for baptizing Bryson and for saying with integrity that this is the place for the good news. It's because of our baptism. All of us. We come to our friends when we have hard sayings to deal with, don't we? We trust our friends to walk this path with us. And when this congregation baptizes Bryson into this community of faith, we are giving Bryson the gift of friends, the gift of people who have been marked by the cross of Christ forever. And we are the people who will be there for Bryson all the way through his life, whether his days are good or not. And that's what Jesus is saying to us as well. In the first place, he trusts us so much that he dares to tell us the truth. He doesn't whitewash anything. He says what we're doing here is so important, and it is so necessary. And it's not going to be so easy. We only say that to people we trust a lot. So my prayer for Bryson and all of the rest of the children, now you know who I'm calling children I trust, starting with myself. We're all children in the faith. We are all little ones in the faith. So my prayer for all of us little children in the faith is that we know the amazing gift of our baptism. And in the baptism that we share with each other, we are the ones who will walk together. Because we believe that God gifts us with the presence of one another, gifts us with honest conversations, and a willingness to sit down with each other. That's the most amazing gift in the entire world. There's a woman, and I don't know her writing very well. Her name is Marianne Rademacher. But she has a saying that I keep in front of me. It's on my mirrors at my house. It's in my car. I'm not going to tell it to you yet because I still want to go back to Jesus. The Bible often doesn't tell us the spirit in which Jesus was talking. So when we read these words in the text and we hear Jesus saying to Peter, you know what, Peter? You need to walk behind me. You need to be my follower. We don't know. It doesn't say that Jesus yelled at Peter. It just says Jesus reminded Peter, you know what? You need to follow behind me, Peter. So I'm going to make the unfair assumption, because this is the way I need to hear Jesus talking to me, is in a voice that's full of kindness, in a voice that's full of forgiveness. I need to hear this voice saying to me, Marco, you need to walk behind me. Don't try to get in front of me, Marco. Walk behind me. And when I think of Jesus walking that path, without yelling, without screaming his pain at his disciples, I'm struck by this little saying from Marianne Rademacher. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice that says, I'll get up for one more day and walk my path for one more day. I think that's the only way Jesus could get through the Jerusalem stuff. It was not in a way of roaring his courage, but he had a courage that was deep-seated, and it was a quiet voice that said, I'm going to do one more day. I'm going to take one more day as this day comes. And with his disciples, even as his disciples deserted him, Jesus knew he wasn't walking alone. He had his friends with him, and he had God's love surrounding him. As we come to time for Bryson's baptism, as we bring Bryson to the water and we splash his head in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and we use the oil to mark the cross of Christ on Bryson's forehead, I encourage all of us, with our own hand, to mark the cross of Christ on our forehead as we walk forward, baptized together, inside of a Jesus Christ who trusts us to be little Christ to one another. May God make it so among us. We sing together the hymn, In the Cross of Christ.